yeah, like cha-cha-cha. And it's sweet and peppery at the same time. There's like a sweet and peppery. Who are you in this? Who are you? Well, hi everyone. I'm Erika Galentin from Sovereignty Herbs, a very sweet spot located in the foothills of Appalachia in southeast Ohio, not too far from the United Plant Savers Botanical Sanctuary. And I am really delighted to be here with Mountain Rose Herbs to share with you a process of getting to know herbs in a way that feels really authentic and genuine to your own experiences, and really learning to trust the information that comes to you when you're working with plants through your senses. Working one-on-one with plants through your senses is a whole nother exciting route of building what I call intimate relationships with the plants. It's how I feel we get to know them very well and also learn how to do really great matchmaking between people and plants. So the process of learning to develop your senses is something that I was taught to call a blind tea tasting. And the blind is really referring to not really knowing what the plant is. And this is a little bit more difficult when you are making the tea yourself, obviously, and you put the tea in the teapot and you know what its name is and you maybe know some things about it. But even in those circumstances, it can be a really good practice to put all of that aside and really open up your skills of observation through your senses to explore and open up possibilities for new information to come through. It's really interesting because in my work in the last 17 years as a clinician, I felt really like, I really know this plant. I really know this plant well. Calendula is a perfect example. I love calendula. I know calendula. We're tight. But then I'll sit down and I'll do a systematic blind tea tasting with calendula, and I can learn something completely new. And so the process is sort of systematic, step by step. You really just start with, I love starting by looking at the actual color of the infusion. So you make a standard infusion, you cover it up so all of that good aromatics don't fly away. And then you pour it into your cup. You have a really good look at the color. So this is a beautiful golden yellow. It's definitely not brown. It's definitely not green. So that just says something to me. I'm not quite sure what. I have no idea what this is, by the way. And then the next step is really bringing it up to your sense of smell. And our sense of smell is absolutely powerful. I think it's actually one of the senses that we tend to not give enough credit to, except when we lose it. So you bring that cup right up to your nose and you spend some time really sitting with it. What do you smell? And you try to come up with language that isn't like, oh, this smells like grass, or this smells like oranges, or it can be very difficult to actually access language that describes our senses and describes what we are experiencing sensorially. So you can practice and dig around for some other language. So it smells dry to me. There's a dryness. It also smells slightly sweet. And I'm not sitting here trying to guess what it is. This is another thing that's really super interesting. I think we feel really satisfied when we can be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. And we can stop the conversation there. And it's really tempting to continue to want to go, oh, who is this? Who's in this cup? I want to know the name. But you have to kind of stop yourself from doing that and really pay attention. What are you smelling? So this is sweet. It's dry. There's a dryness to it. It's floral. And I think that's just about all I can get from the smell. And again, I'm really working hard to just shut off the brain. Come on, don't need to guess, Erika, don't need to guess. I'm really curious, but I don't need to guess. Okay, so after you spend some time really sitting with the sense of smell, take notes, write things down, then you want to move on to how it tastes. This is really exciting. Hopefully it tastes good. I don't know about my bitter faces, so let's see. Ooh, it's drying. I can feel a sort of like drying and also some minerals, right? And so already I'm starting to think about how this smells and how it's tasting. Okay, so what is this telling me about this plant, right? I've got a sweetness, I've got minerals, I've got a drying. So this is something that is potentially really nourishing and nourishing in the sense of being nutritive, right? I can almost taste there's an element of nutrition here. There's a little bit of drying that's happening, but now I'm actually also starting to feel a shift in my physiology or how I feel in my body. And this is kind of the next step. After you've gone through your sense of smell, your taste, and you're making your notes about things, not trying to guess what it is, it's really an important time to kind of tap into where am I feeling this in my body? Where am I feeling this in my body? I'm really feeling this immediately sort of in my digestion, and I'm feeling it in my mouth, where I'm getting a reaction that my body is wanting to digest something. There's an activation of saliva. There's almost an opening sensation in my stomach, and it's not the latte that I had this morning. And even though it's drying, I'm also feeling very soothed. It's a very soothing sort of sensation. And so with all of this information, you can start to really, it doesn't matter who this is. I mean, it matters that it's safe, right? You want to make sure that the herb is safe, of course. But I'm starting to build a little bit more of a relationship with what's in the cup with this plant, right? I'm a little bit stumped. I mean, is it oat straw? Oh.
Do you want to look at it?
Yeah, I'd love to look at the plant. I'd love to see it. I have no idea, but I want more of it.
It's alfalfa.
It's alfalfa. Okay, well that makes sense. That really makes sense. And that's an herb I don't use all that often. So what a treat. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to revisit this one. How delicious. Here we have another one. Ooh. So I'm looking at the color here, and the color is telling me that there may be more, maybe tannins or something in this that is different than the first cup that I had. But it's this beautiful sort of orangey, golden amber color. Really super lovely, super lovely. So I'm going to start with my sense of smell. That's a smile in a cup right there. So I can smell, there's a sweetness there, but there's aromatics. So there's something about this herb that is going to be motivating in one way or another in the body, because aromatics have that sort of motivating support. The aromatics are light. They're very light. And I tend to think of, herbs with these light aromatics have much more of an uplifting sort of action in the body. So then I'm going to taste it. Let's see. Oh, so lovely. It's just lovely. And so it's very similar to how it smells. There's a sweetness. It's gentle, another gentle one. Yes, and those aromatics are very beautiful. They're light and sweet. I would say citrus tones, right? So I've got the citrusiness to it, but the flavor and the smell together they're saying to my body, this is something that is uplifting. This isn't heavy. It's uplifting and maybe even energizing. But there's also an experience of joy. My senses are telling me about, I'm feeling the smiles, I'm feeling the joy. I feel like it would be hard to be grumpy after drinking a cup of this. And so when I'm tapping into where I'm feeling this in particular in my body, I have to say the emotional heart is definitely where I'm feeling this. I think this is this lemon balm? Who doesn't love a little lemon balm? It's really hard to feel bad and grumpy and boo when you've got lemon balm in your life, All right, let's see what we can do with this one when it's nice and warm. So again, we've got a very sort of typical tea color here, but it's still a bit different than the last one. And it's golden. Oh, this is going to be so fun. I'm smelling sort of like a nurturing nutritive sweetness. There's a sweetness here. And it's not the same sort of aromatic as like a bright, sunshiny, floating up top sort of aromatic. It's kind of more in the middle range of notes. It almost smells too like it's going to be maybe sort of moistening, or there's like it's sort of a richness and a depth, which is kind of the other direction, you know, not necessarily like sedating, but more of a grounding sort of aromatic. Of course I'm smiling because I probably need a lot of grounding, let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna taste it now. Ooh. Oh, it's sweet, but it's also kind of bitter, but like not in a blah kind of bitter way, like I don't want that. It's more like, oh, that's kind of nice. It's a nice bitter. It's a gentle bitter. Oh, it's very interesting. Oh, this is nice. It's not the bitter, where it is in my mouth is kind of, it comes in after the sweetness and after the aromatics. There's just a little of bitter. Ooh, and it is kind of moistening. It's not, there's a little bit of dryness there, but it's like immediately washed over by this, it's almost like a syrupy consistency, if I could say. It's not syrupy, but it's more syrupy than water. I'm definitely feel like, and I'm tapping into how I'm feeling in my body. It is definitely much more of a grounded, doesn't matter that I had a 3-shot latte about, an hour ago, like all of that just went away. And I feel really chill. This is a really chill cup of tea. I want to slow down. I want to speak more slowly. I want to maybe sit down. This is nice. I mean, this has got to be chamomile. Is it? Okay. Oh, it's so good too. What a delicious quality chamomile this is, you guys. Ooh, there's something in here. So this is a different color, but I can also say the translucency is different here. So there is something being held in suspension in this tea that's going to be worthwhile, I'm sure. It's a very different. Who are you? So this is an aromatic. It's peppery. Yeah, like cha-cha-cha. Yeah, but it's also, there's a sweetness, getting all the sweethearts today. It feels active. The aromatics are very active. And they're not up here, they're not floating up here, and they're not super deep either. They're just sort of in the middle, but they're active. Oh, so interesting. It's rich. There's a richness here, but it's like, I can't get past this pepperiness. And it's sweet and peppery at the same time. There's like a sweet and peppery. Who are you in this guy? Who are you? There's something about it that is saying that it would be good blended with other herbs. On its own, it might be a little bit too much. And I'm not quite sure if it's going to be drying or moistening, but I think it's going to have some sort of warming. There's got to be a warming nature to it just because of the way that it smells. But I could be wrong about that. It's all right. I'm going to taste it now. Interesting. So at first there was almost like a marine or seaweed mineral taste. It was sour. There was a sourness right up front. Oh, it's changing. See, this is the other thing. Sometimes you've got to give a sip a second. It's really sour at first, and then it goes sweet. Sweet and sour, sweet and sour. And where am I feeling this? I don't know, but I keep getting images of flamenco dancing. There's like, this herb has got some flamenco stuff going on. With the previous cup, so with the chamomile, I definitely felt it was very instant for me. It was just like, woof. But now all of that has changed. Something is moving now. It's like, it's definitely more stimulating, moving. I can't get past that sweetness. It's digestive, yeah. I feel a clearing also in my mind, sort of getting the cobwebs out. This is a get stuff done herb. I have no idea what it is. Yeah, and I'm starting to also now taste some of the minerals and there's maybe some nutrition, some nutritiveness to it. That sweet pepperiness is very unique. Oh, I know who this is. I'm pretty sure. Can I see the plant? Ooh. I have no idea. Is it agastache? Is it the anise hyssop?
Yes.
I did it! I figured it out. Oh, and I just snorted up my nose. Don't do that at home. Oh, that's super fun. I feel all pepped up now. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this journey into working with plants and the beautiful herbs and your senses, and going through a process step by step, repeating that process even with the same herb, starting with what it looks like, how it smells, how it tastes, really tapping into how it feels in your body. And this is such a wonderful exercise for you to do, whether you're brand new to herbalism and you're just starting out and you're wanting to get to know herbs and how to use them to support yourself and your family, or if you're someone that has been working with herbs for a really long time. There's always something new to be learned. And it's super fun to do this by yourself, but it's also really, really fun to get a group of people together and do a blind tea tasting group together. And you can even nowadays, with everyone being online, you can have friends across the country where you all gather and sit and have tea and explore your senses and the herbs and getting to know them this way. I feel like it really creates a very unique relationship, between you and that plant. One that you can trust, one that you can invest in, and one that becomes very reciprocal. And if you're interested in finding out more about me, you can check me out at sovereigntyherbs.com. I have a clinical practice, and I also do clinical mentorship. The other things that I do include teaching aromatic distillation, and I do some teaching with the Northwest School of Aromatic Medicine about aromatics and materia medica for aromatics. And you can find me on social media. Mostly Instagram tends to be my favorite platform, so you can find me at Sovereignty Herbs as well as at Erika Galentin. And thank you very much for joining me.